in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, which are trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any of the partners that resonate with you. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice, then pick the mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send the receipt directly to us. After that, all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchases, knowing that you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing the story of those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. When you join the Community Pay It Forward program, you can turn every bite into impact. Delight diners while supporting local families, veterans, and nonprofits with every meal served. Stand out to travelers and locals. Gain exposure to tourists and residents looking for cause-driven experience. Strengthen community ties. Build loyalty as a restaurant that gives back, creating a dining experience that matters. Attract value-driven diners. Appeal to customers who care about the meaningful spending by joining a trusted charitable network. And finally, you can take part in our exclusive benefits for our partners, like being the support program for our 22-hour Heroes podcast on February 22nd. No one needs to go it alone when we all... It is our privilege to introduce to you Pieces of Me. Pieces of Me works to eliminate stigma associated with disability, physical difference, and chronic illness by providing resources and connections to individuals, families, and appropriate training to professionals in these spheres. Support Pieces of Me with our 3 easy steps. Shop with any of our giving partners. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice and pick the mission partner you wish to support, including this QR code for Pieces of Me. Supporting those who support so many. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. And we are all coming together right now because we are trying to create the miracle, and we are a miracle of a community that comes together. Welcome to segment 3, which is hour 5 and 6 of the program. I believe this is going to be the last segment, but I'm not positive on that. Coming up in this hour, we've got reading by the American, by Santa Claus when he was over America, so he lost his British accent. So now he kind of sounds a little bit like a Canada guy, eh? So got a little bit of that Canada in him. So, he's Santa Claus, so he's a good guy. We've also got, we're going to be kicking off a segment with my friends, I call them the Kurt crew, Kurt Roskopf, Sue Roskopf, Maianne Waikiki, Santa Papa John, and Beth, I believe. Yeah. Or Bet. I'm sorry, Bet. So we're going to be kicking off a little bit of a segment where they're going to be talking about one of our mission partners and how you can continue to support them. Of course, you can always support Project Die Hard right here at Community Pay It Forward by scanning that QR code that you see there in the center of that of that picture. When you scan that QR code and you shop with any of our partners, any purchase you make can give back to programs like Project Die Hard. Just go to communitypayitforward.us, go to the mission partners, and you can find a mission partner that you choose to support by scanning their QR code, shop, click, and pick, as you just saw before a minute ago. So without any further ado, I want to introduce Sue, Sue Roskopf, who's going to kick this off. And she's going to bring on everybody else. She's kind of the captain of this show because Captain Kurt, look, this is the clown. I'm sorry, character who says that he's in charge, but Sue's in charge. Kurt's there. I mean, he's not even eye candy. I don't even get what he does. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's old, but he's a good guy. He's like birthday was like a month ago. You believe that? God. If I was a month older, we might be about the same age, but I'm not. So I kid only because I can. But this is the Roskopfs. Sue does a wonderful job with this. Sue is a very passionate person about, well, so is Kurt, all honesty. They do a lot of work for inclusion. They do a lot of work for a lot of people. And I am very, very proud to call them a friend and an ally. So without any further ado, here is Sue kicking off the Roskopf Crew Hour.
Podcast Network. We are so happy to be here today doing some special things with some special friends and all relating to Project Die Hard. So what is Project Die Hard? It is a wonderful organization supporting our veterans, providing hope to veterans, doing some amazing things to combat veteran suicide. It is the holiday season, and there is this awful statistic of the holiday spike. What does that mean? It means we are losing too many of our veterans right now. And with what Project Die Hard is and what Project Die Hard stands for, it is all about changing that. We are providing hope to our veterans, and we have a wonderful friend who has been a huge supporter of Project Die Hard. We want to bring in Debbie Hayes to share a lot with us. We want to know all the things because she has been such an amazing supporter of us. We want to support her as well. So Debbie, come on in and say hello. I am so happy to have you here with us. How are you tonight?
I am great. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate you having me.
So tell us a bit about what you do. I know Deb's Pets is actually very dear to our hearts here. Tell us a bit about that.
All right. So I do promote immune support for both pets and for humans. And my name of my division is debspets.com. So would love to have people take a look at that or contact me to get some details about the ingredients that we use and what our philosophy is and so forth. Aside from the website. So one of the things that I do, or one of the things that I use for that promotion is the Great Discovery. And I do have a channel, which is something that just started. It's like a community on there. Would love to have everybody join it. And the chat will take you right there. And it is free. So just a way of discovering things about our pets and animals. And we're also going to be putting our podcast on there, which is at World of Pets Podcast. It will continue to be on YouTube, but we will be able to access it through the channels also. So would love for people to get on there and comment. I've got lots of questions up there for you to answer. And that's what I do. How did I get interested with Project Die Hard? Did I take the question out of your mouth, Sue?
You totally did. You know where we're going. So yeah, why are you interested? What is it that spurred you to say, yes, I want to do something here?
Right. Of course, I found out about Project Die Hard from Sue Roskopf and her husband, Kurt, who are both ambassadors for the program and do such a wonderful job. I'm interested because I'm concerned about the veterans. I'm concerned that they don't get enough help. Ironically enough, I watched Forrest Gump last night, the movie.
I love that movie.
Another group of veterans that definitely did not get enough help by virtue of the fact that they were in Vietnam. What Brian is doing with Project Die Hard and wanting to have a facility in every state, but obviously you have to start somewhere, and he is starting with Illinois. I really did want to support him. So I did a one-to-one with Santa Papa John, and at the same time, Project Die Hard was top of mind for me. And I thought, wow, I wonder if the two of them working together would be a good fit and a good promotion somehow for Project Die Hard. So I do finance that. I pay Papa John's monthly fee so that he and Project Die Hard can get together and actually, I'm going to say, do whatever it is that they do. And Santa Papa John will have to tell you that.
Excellent. And we are lucky to have him with us. I'm going to bring him in so he can tell us all about being Santa approved. How are you tonight?
Good afternoon, ladies. How are we doing today? I am doing absolutely fabulous.
So glad to have you here, especially this being, your busy season and all.
Well, we're only down to 14 days till Christmas, in case anybody's counting.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Reality
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, reality check. There you go. Santa Papa John has a program where you can be Santa approved, and it's a unique program where, once you meet the criteria where you're happy and joyful and you share positivity with other people, and you create great feelings for people, then you can become Santa approved. And there's a few more things to it than that. But I've come up with an idea because of this idea right here is Santa approved. I have the trademark for that. I filed the paperwork, so I'm pretty excited about that. That gives me a little bit more credibility that I take this very seriously, folks. And yes, Project Die Hard is an amazing program that is in a growth stages to help veterans, and we all love our veterans, and we all know, like Deb said, we all know that there is a epidemic right now of suicide amongst our veterans, which needs to be addressed and corrected. And how do we do that? We support by giving them a place to scream and holler and talk and find out that there are services out there to help our veterans. And this is just one of the great places. And Brian and you and Kurt do an amazing job as being ambassadors for Project Die Hard. So I'm glad I'm involved, and thanks to Deb. She is a kind lady, helps support Project Die Hard by paying my monthly fee, which helps me promote and advertise and once again talk to veterans and help how we can help the veterans.
Excellent. And I know your love for the veterans goes even beyond that. Can you tell us a little bit more about Warriors Beacon of Hope?
Well, yes, thanks, Sue, for mentioning that. I do appreciate that. Yes, Santa Papa John has a very strong love for our veterans. And, I've talked to a lot of veterans, and as you well know, you hear it as well as I do. While we're on the waiting list for services, now the simple reality of it, folks, is these men and women didn't wait to sign on the dotted line. They stood proudly and whatever adjective else you want to go with that sentence is, they signed the dotted line to support and protect this country. So then they come back, and I'm not saying everyone gets treated like second-rate citizens from the VA, because the VA does a very good job on the resources that they have. But the biggest thing that I was being told by many, many veterans is they were on the waiting list and on the waiting list. I says, on the waiting list for what? Services. So I quickly started investigating and found out there is no national registry for services that help support our veterans. So I'm on a mission to compile a national list to help support our veterans by giving them a place where they can go look for services that they require to get them through their day-to-day life. And if we can
Excellent.
compile the list nationwide, that would be awesome. And that's the mission, what we're trying to do.
And
It's called
where would somebody go to find out more information about that?
Well, it's the website is up and running, The Warriors Beacon of Hope. And so far I'm compiling a list, but now I'm going to add to that. I'm going to start adding all the, if I can find the meetings that these veterans go to, I'm going to start adding that to the list too, because we all know that veterans sometimes can't find the list other than the meetings in their own vicinity. So let's create that as part of the list for warriorsbeaconofhope.com.
Excellent. Oh, I love what you guys are doing to support our veterans, and we appreciate it so much. And we do have another person in the wings who also is an amazing supporter of veterans. Maianne of Waikiki is here, and I want to bring her in to share what she is all doing as well. Maianne, welcome. How are you?
Good. Well, aloha. Miracle Christmas for the military people. So I'm going to stop signing right now. So thank you very much. I'm Maianne of Waikiki. It's my sign language name. It's my book author name. I'm the author of the Acts of Kindness series featuring 200 folk manus puppets. Yes, puppets. My books are written for animation movies with sign language characters and a soundtrack by Lucy Lynch in the Perfect Way. Now meet Noah, the hard of hearing whale, who comes down on a Hawaiian vacation, and we have a glow in the dark party. And he gets hit by a black speedboat and he loses his hearing. And he wonders what kind of world he's going to have. Well, he's rehabilitated by a hermit crab named Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, who's in the ship-shaped clinic. And he is also introduced to the general of the New Earth Army, a sea turtle who recruits him to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. Now, these teachers come together with a sign language shark, Shaka, the sign language shark, Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, King Octo, the ape, who teaches the sign what? If you can follow along, this is a sign for peace, love, happiness, and thanks, or mahalo here in Hawaii. And we have Flip and Flop, our service alpha dolphins. So guess what? My gift to the world is on Christmas Day, is I'm gifting this book as a free download ebook. Everybody worldwide can download this free book with fussy librarian support and Amazon. So go, it's only 24 hours. You can download this book for free. Now, if you're driving, cruising on a sailboat, flying, you want to listen to it, it is on Audible. I was able to record the book during the pandemic into Manoa Valley Studio, where Lucy and the Perfect Wave created their albums. Now, Nick's guitar sounds like whales and dolphins. So every chapter, when you listen to it on Audible, you'll hear the sounds of whales and dolphins with Lucy's angelic voice with me recording the story. So you can purchase that on Audible this season if you were traveling along with your family. Now, we also created a YouTube channel, and that's the Acts of Kindness series. And you can meet Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab. Now, he teaches the ASL finger spelling ABC, the 26 letters of the ABCs. So everybody can learn it. It's great fun for everybody. It's free. Also, we have online courses that feature the characters of the book for the chapters to go out and play the Apple App games today on Christmas Day. So aloha, mele kaliki maka. I'm Maianne of Waikiki. Aloha.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for all that you guys are all doing for our veterans, all our military, that they have done so much for us. The fact that we're able to give back like this, I give my sincerest thanks to each and every one of you for all that you do. We are ambassadors with Project Heart. So that is the one place that is the most dear to my heart at this moment. doing all we can to bring success. And what does success look like? Bringing hope to veterans, saving veterans' lives. And I can't thank you enough for each and every one of you and what you are doing in that effort. Again, Debbie Hayes with Deb's Pets, debspets.com. We have Santa Papa John, santapapajohn.com. And we have Maianne of Waikiki, and she has the Acts of Kindness series.com. And anything else I want to make sure to, Debbie, go ahead.
Yes, we don't want to forget to let the veterans know that Project Die Hard has a breakfast once a month, the first Wednesday of the month. And if you're in the Paducah, Kentucky area, then you can come and eat free, socialize with people, including a lot of other veterans, and just enjoy that time. Make some connections.
That
Connections
fellowship
are
breakfast,
important.
they are absolutely important. And Debbie, thank you for sponsoring that breakfast. You've done multiple sponsorships of that breakfast, and that is absolutely huge. There's I'm trying to remember what the number was. We were at 480, right around 480 veterans that were served this past year through that sponsorship, through that project. That is huge. This fellowship breakfast takes place on the first Wednesday of every month from 7 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. in Paducah, Kentucky at the IHOP. So please, veterans are welcome. Veterans will eat for free. All are welcome. Come and eat with heroes. Come and say hello. Say thank you. We appreciate you. Meet some wonderful people. There's a great number of folks that come on a monthly basis there, but there's so many more that should be coming. Please share that out, and we would love to see this program spread beyond that location. But that takes time, that takes effort, that takes volunteers, that takes some money, that takes a lot of things to put together, but that's where we're headed. So if this is something that you are wanting to do to help us with this, please reach out. I can be reached through email is the easiest. It actually is super simple. I'm with Project Die Hard, so it's Susan at projectdiehard.org. Again, Suzan at projectdiehard.org. Any questions you have, if you want to participate, if you want to meet any of these folks, I'd be happy to connect you with them. We absolutely love what Project Die Hard is doing, and thank you again, Debbie, Santa, Maianne. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all you do to support us.
Thank you.
And we will keep promoting what's going on here, and I look forward to what's coming up next. As always, we thank you.
Don't
At
go all
Confronting
play on
Domestic
Christmas.
Violence, our mission is to provide real-time resources to abused families, including relocation services to help parents and children reach safety. Baxter's
We're
Christmas
committed
present,
to giving
written
at-risk
by Carole
families a
Wagner, real chance to escape dangerous situations. You can support Confronting Domestic Violence by our simple program Shop, Click, and Pick. Shop with any giving partner. Click a picture of your receipt and pick Confronting Domestic Violence by scanning this QR code or visiting communitypayitforward.us and search by their name. Confronting Domestic Violence and Community Pay It Forward. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
Ho, 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 good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Story Time by Santa. Sit back, relax, and enjoy these wonderful stories that Santa is going to read to you, your family members, and your children. I hope you have a wonderful time. And if you like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Santa loves you. Ho, ho, ho. Enjoy. Ho, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. I hope you're off to a roaring start today. Thank you for joining Santa. Are you ready to hear some stories? Do you have some hot cocoa? Do you have some cookies? Here we go. The elf who made toys come alive. At the heart of the North Pole, where the snow sparkled like sugar and candy canes grew as tall as trees, there was a bustling workshop filled with elves. Each elf had a special job: painting, stuffing, tinkering, or wrapping. Among them was a small elf named Tinker. Tinker was unlike the other elves. While most elves worked on their tasks quickly and cheerfully, Tinker often got lost in his thoughts, imagining ways to make toys extra special. He loved inventing gadgets and adding little surprises to the toys he made, but Tinker had one problem. He was clumsy. No matter how hard he tried, his inventions sometimes didn't work like planned. Once, he tried to make a toy train blow steam, but it sprayed glitter everywhere instead. Another time he created a jack-in-the-box that sang carols, but it wouldn't stop singing for hours. The other elves, like Tinker, often teased him. "Stick to the basics, Tinker." They'd say, "Leave the fancy stuff for Santa's magic." One chilly December morning, Santa called all the elves together. His twinkling eyes were serious as he spoke. "This Christmas, I have a very special request," Santa began. "There's a town far away called Hollyville, where many children have been feeling lonely. They've written to me asking for toys that could be their friends." The elves murmured excitedly. Santa smiled. "I want to send toys so special that they will bring extra joy to these children. Who among you will take on this task?" Tinker's hand shot up before he even thought about it. "I will, Santa," he said eagerly. Santa's smile grew wilder. "Wonderful, Tinker. I trust you'll do your best." Tinker's heart swelled with pride, but as he looked at the curious faces of the other elves, he felt a twinge of doubt. Could he really create toys that were extra special? That night, Tinker worked in his little corner of the workshop. He thought about the lonely children in Holyville and how much they needed a friend. If only the toys could come alive, he whispered. Then they could truly be there for the children. As the words left his lips, a tiny spark of magic from the workshop's chimney drifted down and landed on his workbench. Tinker didn't notice it at first, but then he started working on a little teddy bear. Something amazing happened. The bear blinked. Tinker gasped. Did you just move?" The teddy bear nodded and stretched his tiny arms. "Hello, Tinker," it said in a cheerful voice. Tinker couldn't believe it. "It worked. You're alive." Excited by his success, Tinker began creating more toys. He made a ballerina doll that could pirouette, a toy dog that wagged its tail, and a robot that told knock-knock jokes. Imagine that! Each toy came to life thanks to the mysterious spark of magic that seemed to follow Tinker's touch. Soon, word spread around the workshop, and the other elves gathered to watch Tinker's creation. "Wow, Tinker, you are amazing," said one elf. "This is the most magical thing I've ever seen." "Just another," said another. For the first time, Tinker felt truly appreciated, but he also felt nervous. What if something goes wrong? He thought. The journey on Christmas Eve, Santa loaded the magical toys onto his sleigh. Tinker climbed aboard, his heart racing with excitement and worry. "You've done something truly special, Tinker," Santa said as they soared into the starry sky. "These toys will bring more than joy. They'll bring hope." When they arrived at Hollyville, Santa said Tinker quietly placed the toys under the Christmas trees of the children who needed them the most. As they finished their deliveries, Santa turned to Tinker. "Wouldn't you like to see the magic unfold?" Santa asked. Tinker nodded eagerly. Early the next morning, Tinker and Santa peeked through a frosty window as a little boy named Henry woke up. Henry had been feeling lonely since his family moved to Hollyville, and his letter to Santa had tugged on Tinker's heart. When Henry opened his gift, he found the teddy bear named Tinker had made. As he hugged it, the bear came to life. "Hi, Henry," said the bear. "I'm your new best friend." Henry's eyes lit up. "You can talk." "You're alive," the bear nodded. "I'm here to play with you, keep you company, and make you smile." Henry laughed for the first time in weeks. "Thank you, Santa," he shouted, hugging the bear tightly. Similar scenes played out all over Hollyville. Dolls danced, toy trains whistled, and little robots cracked jokes. The town, once quiet and lonely, came alive with laughter and joy. Back in the North Pole, the elves celebrated Tinker's success. "You've done something incredible," Santa told him. "You didn't just make toys, you gave the gift of friendship." Tinker beamed with pride, but remained humble. "I just wanted the children to feel less alone," he said. "That's what Christmas is all about, isn't it?" Santa nodded. "Indeed, Tinker, absolutely. Christmas is about bringing light to others, especially when they need it the most." From that day on, Tinker became known as the elf with the golden touch. And every Christmas, he created toys that were not just magical, but also filled with love and kindness. Here's your life lesson. The toys Tinker made were a reminder that even the smallest act of care can brighten someone's life. And the lesson for everyone, young and old, was simple. The best gifts aren't the biggest or the fanciest. They're the ones made with love. Isn't that awesome, boys and girls? I hope you still have some cocoa, because are you ready for number 2? The magical Christmas carousel. In the snowy town of Evergreen Hollow, there stood a carousel unlike any other. It was tucked away in the center of Evergreen Park, surrounded by twinkling fairy lights and candy cane striped trees. This wasn't an ordinary carousel. It was said to be enchanted, coming to life only on Christmas Eve. The carousel had beautiful hand-carved animals, each painted with vibrant colors and intricate designs. There was Prancer the reindeer, Frosty the polar bear, Twinkle the snowy owl, and Dancer the unicorn. Each had a special name, and their eyes sparkled as if they were alive. But the carousel hadn't spun for many years. People in Evergreen Hollow had forgotten its magic, and now it stood quiet and still, waiting for someone to believe in it again. One snowy evening, 2 siblings, Ella and Max, walked through the park with their parents. Ella was 8, curious and full of wonder, while Max, who was 10, thought he was too old to believe in magic. As they wandered through the snow, Ella noticed the carousel. "Max, look, it's beautiful." Max shrugged. "It's just an old ride. It probably doesn't even work anymore." But Ella ran towards it, her scarf trailing behind her. She touched Prancer's reins and felt the strange warmth. "I think it's special," she whispered. Just then, the carousel's lights flickered. Max stepped closer, intrigued despite himself. "Did you see that?" he asked. Ella nodded. "I think it's trying to tell us something." As the siblings stood there, a gentle musical voice filled the air. It came from the carousel itself. "Hello, children," the voice said. "I am the magical Christmas carousel. I've been waiting for someone who still believes in the spirit of Christmas. Will you help me?" Max's eyes widened. Did that carousel just talk? Ella giggled. "Yes, of course we'll help. What do you need?" The carousel explained that its only magic could be fully restored Christmas star, which once sat atop it was returned. The star had gone missing years ago, and without it, the carousel couldn't spin or share its magic with the town. "Where is the star?" Ella asked. "It's hidden in the frosted forest," the carousel said, "but it's guarded by the ice spirits who don't believe in kindness or sharing." Max crossed his arms. "How are we supposed to get it back from them?" "With courage, kindness, and teamwork," the carousel said. "Will you try?" Ella nodded eagerly. "We'll do it." Max hesitated but firmly agreed, spurred by his sister's determination. Ella and Max followed a glowing path that appeared in the snow. It led them to the frosted forest, a place of towering icicles, shimmering trees, and frosty air. As they ventured deeper, they heard the whispers of the ice spirits. "Who dares enter our forest?" the voices called. Ella stood tall. "We're here to find the Christmas star and bring it back to the carousel." The ice spirits appeared, swirling around them like tiny snowflakes. "Why should we give it to you?" One of them sneered. "The star belongs to us now." Ella thought for a moment. Because the star wasn't meant to be hidden. It's meant to bring joy to everyone. Max stepped forward. "If you share the star, we'll help make Christmas magical for the whole town." The ice spirits hesitated. They had never thought about how their actions affected others. "Oh, itchy nose." One of the spirits, smaller and quieter than the others, floated closer. "If you truly believe in the magic of Christmas, prove it. Show us what kindness and courage look like." Suddenly, the forest began to change. A shimmering path appeared, but it was blocked by a large fallen tree. Without hesitation, Ella and Max worked together to clear the path. Next, they found a tiny bird shivering in the snow. Ella took off her scarf and wrapped it around the bird, warming it up. Finally, they reached a frozen lake. Max noticed cracks in the ice and stopped Ella just in time, figuring out a safer way to cross by using fallen branches. The ice spirits watched silently, impressed by the siblings' teamwork and selfishness. At last, the spirits led them to a glowing crystal cave. In the center was the Christmas star shining brightly. "You've proven yourselves," the small spirit said. "Take the star and share its light." Ella carefully picked up the star, and she and Max began their journey back to the carousel. When they returned to the park, the carousel's light twinkled in anticipation. Ella climbed onto Prancer while Max placed the star at the very top. As soon as the star was in place, the carousel began to spin. The animals came to life, prancing and flying in circles. Music filled the air, and the town of Evergreen Hollow seemed to glow with a newfound magic. People gathered, their faces filled with wonder. Children laughed, and even the grown-ups felt the joy of Christmas in their hearts. Santa himself appeared, his sleigh landing softly near the carousel. He smiled at Ella and Max, You've done something incredible. He said, you've reminded everyone that the true magic of Christmas comes from kindness, courage, and believing in something bigger than ourselves. Max grinned. I guess magic is real after all. Ella beamed. It's the best Christmas ever. From that day on, the Magic Christmas Carousel became the heart of Evergreen Hollow, spinning every Christmas Eve to remind the town the power of believing and the importance of kindness and teamwork. Here's your life lesson. Kindness and teamwork can overcome any challenge, and the true magic of Christmas comes from sharing joy and believing in one another. Wow! Wasn't that amazing? I hope you enjoyed that. Santa will be back again soon to read some more stories for you. I hope you enjoyed your hot cocoa. Santa loves you. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas.
Does this sound like your life? Scattered, jumping between tasks but never finishing. Saying yes when you want to say no. Avoiding hard conversations and holding it all in. It's time to stop overcomplicating life and turning it into your advantage. Experience Tea Now, a monthly membership designed to help parents, professionals, and dreamers like you conquer self-sabotage and thrive. Save your spot today. Get early access, a special gift, and start transforming your life. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
I'm the author and Apple game developer of the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 folk Manus puppets and a soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wave. Mele Kaliki Makata, everybody. Thank you. Mahalo for the military, veterans, families, children, being of service. You've been gone far away for a long time, and now you're back returning at Christmas time. We want to give you a Christmas miracle through Zak Clayton and Project Die Hard, with all the sponsors such as Sue, Kurt, Debbie, Santa Papa John, and myself. EC Marketing, who's created our website, that's www.actsofkindnessseries.com. Trevor Gibbs, who's also ADA, American Disabilities Act, to make sure the website is compliant so that you can read the disability website. And we want to thank Clean Water Foundation, Leon McLaughlin out of Seattle, who is bringing water units, water filters worldwide to several different places. All of us are doing our part. And we want a big shout out to you because you're the service military families that are coming home. Now we know there's billions, 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss worldwide. Millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren now. So we want to be in support of this. We have working on services out there. My former career, 30-some years ago, I was a case manager with the deaf, and we made sure we found housing, support social services, Social Security, SSDI, which now supports persons with tinnitus, ringing in the ears. There's healthcare programs out there that help you with tinnitus, ringing in the ears, chiropractic services, acupuncture, solfeggio frequencies, all these different things I've learned through my journey as being a sign language interpreter in Hawaii and also experiencing hearing loss through an accident. So we want to share the good news with you in these happy holidays by sharing our Acts of Kindness series books for free for you and your families. Now, it took a team of us, Suzanne Sims, my writer, Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wave, the singers, not one, but two, but 3 albums. And I am the author and the creator. And we also thank Folk Manus Puppets, Elaine, the sales manager, who is gifted Santa Papa John and Kurt and everybody complimentary puppets to share on all different social media platforms. and also YouTube. Trevor Gibbs helped me create a YouTube channel, and Fiverr graphics designers out of Pakistan and Sri Lanka who just experienced a lot of flooding and hurricane. We had to take a lot of time off to recreate and reestablish some of this stuff, but we're back in order, and prayers and peace, love, and happiness for everybody worldwide. So we want to share these books with you by giving you the gift on Christmas Day to download our first book, Underwater Acts of Kindness, featuring Noah the hard of hearing whale. That's our National Oceanic Atmospheric Agency. We want to thank all the service people out there, the military, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, and the Coast Guard for protecting our waters, protecting our land and security, and for whatever other reasons, just because we love you and we need you also too. And we want to back you up too, to make sure that your hearing will guide you through this different journey of a change. And this is the story about a hard of hearing whale who encounters that after a boating accident. So we have characters that rehabilitate him, such as Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, who rehabilitates him in a ship-shaped clinic. And he learns the finger spelling alphabet. Now, all of you can do that now for free on YouTube, because Trevor Gibbs helped me upload them to YouTube with our Fiverr designers. What a great teamwork through this journey. And this is Dr. Fingers, a finger spelling hermit crab. Now, Santa Papa John, our social media influencer, now will be gifted the Folk Manus puppets. So he has been so kind, through support of Debbie Miller, who has sponsored him as well, to go on TikTok to read these stories to you throughout our journey. How cool is that? He's also showing the coloring books. Not only have the books, we have coloring books to learn the ASL finger spelling alphabet, and we have the YouTube channel, Apple App Games for online courses. We have so many activities going on. We won the Awesome Grant Foundation Award, a WAPU Award in July. We gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind, a water unit from Leon McLaughlin Clean Water Foundation, and the books, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, for October Anti-Bullying Month. We have a press release. We want to send it to you. Contact our website, www.actsofkindnessseries.com. Go on, contact us, leave us a message. That's how you can get a hold of us. Join us every Saturday. Where? On the World of Ability podcast with our hosts Sue and Kurt Roskopf and our podcast engineer, Emily Goldmer. And the last of the hour, we have the great Leon McLaughlin Clean Water Foundation joining us, updating us, letting us know where these filters are going worldwide. It's an amazing Acts of Kindness team. I want to give a thank out too to Jay Stoyan from the Disability Channel. He is currently interviewing me. He hires persons with disabilities. So we are promoting the books and the coloring books, the flyers. I have now t-shirts on Shopify as character designs, and he has 32 million subscribers now. So we're getting the word out about veteran support. So if you need someone to talk to, Santa Papa John is collecting a list. Call mental health, call a friend, check on a vet. They want to hear from you. And so go out and play these new books and coloring books today. We want to gift all the veterans hospitals, the audiology clinics, the speech pathology departments, these books and coloring books, not only for our adults, because they're fun activities to share with their grandchildren and children, or children who are just born, that know that learning sign language is a way for communication. They have a higher IQ and they tend to cry less, mommy and daddy. So everybody wins with this Acts of Kindness series. So we are a Christmas miracle. We are sharing the gifts with you on this grateful holiday in 2024. And that's December 25th. Download Underwater Acts of Kindness. Thank you, Fussy Library. Thank you, Jeff Bezos with Amazon. And you can listen to it on Audible if you're traveling by car, train, plane, trains, automobiles, or by sailboat, like I do sometimes, and cruisers too. So the book on Audible, you'll hear Lucy in the Perfect Wave, and Nick's guitar sounds like whales and dolphins. It's a great story. The vision is to bring them into animation movies. So any of your support to get out there again. We have 500 million people worldwide now with a hearing loss. Millions of moms and dads are coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. So go out and play. I'm Maianne of Waikiki, and aloha mele kalikimaka on Christmas Day.
Thank you so much, Maianne, for being here with us. My name is Sue Roskopf. I am an ambassador with Project Die Hard. We've done so much good things with so many good friends this past year. I'm extremely thankful to have Maianne here and participating with all the wonderful things that she brings our way. We do have another friend that is here as well that can share a lot of what she has been inspired to do to help with our veterans as well. I'm going to bring in Debbie Hayes to say hello. How are you, Debbie?
I'm fine, Sue. How are you?
Doing great. So glad you're
Good.
here. So I know Debbie has, you can find a lot of information on her website, debspets.com. That again is debspets.com. Now, Debbie, tell us, what are they going to find there?
They're going to find, first of all, immune support for both pets and for people. And second of all, which is really important right now, we're, in fact, our podcast tonight is about this. We want everyone, when they're buying gifts for their animals, to make sure that those gifts are safe and healthy for them. And that's what we go over the podcast today. So please share, like. You can find it at World of Pets Podcast on YouTube with today's date. So that is a good start to promote us and to support us. We also have a channel on the Great Discovery, which is like a community, called Pets and Animals. And there is a link that you'll be receiving for when you watch this tonight. So please go on and sign up for the channel, no cost. And we'll be putting the podcast, one episode a week, on that channel also. So that'll be another way that you can easily get to the podcast, as well as other days having a lot of questions about pets, different things with your pet that you can answer and contribute.
Excellent. And when is your podcast? If they want to catch it live, I know they go to YouTube and search out at World of Pets Podcast. When would they find it on there live?
It's generally on live at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific on Tuesday evenings. Occasionally, like tonight, it's different. We did pre-record this week, and so that is different, but you still will be able to find it on there. So I wanted to tell a little story about Zak Clayton, who's doing the marathon. So I was on the marathon. It was only 22 hours then. So he's really expanding his reach here, which is quite a challenge, I'll say.
Quite an undertaking.
I'm sure. He was actually, I went on one of his regular weekly episodes, and then I went on the 22-hour, and that was really my start as a podcast host, or getting a feel for what it would be like. That started me on the journey of wanting to be a podcast host, I guess I should say. So thank you to Zak, and good luck with the marathon podcasts and with the nonprofits that you support.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Debbie, for being here and being part of the support here. And I know you are also very involved with Santa Papa John and helping with Project Die Hard being Santa approved. So I definitely want to give a shout out his way, santapapajohn.com, and all the things that he does to make the world better, especially this time of year. There's nobody like Santa. If you happen to be a TikTok kind of person, you can definitely find him on TikTok. He's on there actually quite a bit and has an amazing following. His support of the veterans also goes to a website that he is developing called thewarriorsbeaconofhope.com. Again, thewarriorsbeaconofhope.com, which is a work in progress. It is something that he recently started and is going to expand quickly here. But that's where he we'll need your help. Anyone who's listening and has any resources that is specifically for our veterans, please reach out and share with him what you know, what you have, so that he can add that to what is on this site. So it can be a comprehensive list nationwide of resources that can benefit our military and our veterans. So be sure to check that out. And he's so easy to find, santapapajohn.com. And I do want to go ahead and bring in one more person to our little community here that we have today. Kurt Roskopf, my better half, is in the wings here. Come on in, Kurt. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I am pleased, proud, and privileged to be a part of this production. And I've got a little childhood story to share. So here I am in elementary school. I'm in a fourth grade classroom, and I'm just doing my thing, learning at the fourth grade level. And we have a classroom activity going on. And one of my classmates isn't tracking with what the teacher had planned. And so he's confronted by the teacher. And he doesn't like what the teacher is bringing to him and doesn't like the idea of the challenge of himself. And what does my friend say? He just blurts out to the teacher, "Who cares?" Well, my teacher proceeds to stand on the table in the classroom and look at all of us and then zero in on my one classmate that said, "Who cares?" And he said, "I care. I care. I care." And he sent that message to that one classmate, but we were all able to benefit from that. A teacher showing right then and there, and in a very natural reaction, coming out of love for teaching, to really make that connection to us as kids. And it worked, I'll tell you what. And I'll tell you what, I give a lot of credit to Zak Clayton. Because Zak Clayton, God darn it, Zak Clayton is a teacher. He teaches us so much, and he is showing the way. The capacity that Zak has for compassion is bar none. And this is the work we need to be doing, folks. You are in this program because you're attracted to this element of that we care. I'm Kurt Roskopf, and I care. We all have that opportunity right now to declare in our inner voice. Go ahead and declare it. Maianne, I care. Sue, I care. Debbie, I care. All of you viewers and listeners out there, I care. What a culture this program, a miracle of a community that cares. We've heard of a power of one, the power of a group, the power of community. We have that chance to do this. This is the work that I am passionate to do, heartfelt work, doing work of people. So making impact. This is in collaboration with many stakeholders. And we're attracted in different ways. Let's just think about what Sue talked about, what Maianne talked about, what Debbie talked about. You're thinking of somebody else who's doing this work. What a remarkable thing to have a source for such positivity, for what people can do for humanity, philanthropically, and it just makes sure people are taken care of. Our friend Zak, I'm hoping this gets said directly by him, but if not, I've got him covered, because I'll never forget this saying that he brings to us repetitiously of, if you're not caring for anyone, or if you're not helping anyone, you're hurting everyone. This is what this is about. This is about gathering together and playing to everybody's strengths, and to do asset-based community development, whatever you want to call it, bringing everything together and figuring out how we can do this better. We have a commitment here for our veterans. You hear that repetitively as we work with Zak and doing projects like this with Santa Papa John, who created the Warriors Beacon. Santa Papa John realized, you know what? If we're trying to help a veteran and then we're not with them, what are they using to find everything they need? And he learned the politics and the commercial side of being a part of any directory that a veteran would use So we're all working with Santa Papa John to make a tremendous success of the Warriors Beacon of Hope.com project. And Project Die Hard is very proud to be a first entry in this directory. And we're just very excited. So if you have an entry for that project, go to santapapajohn.com, let them know. And with all the stuff we're talking about right now, I offer my phone number. I'm happy to deliver customer service. I leave the cussing to you. My phone number is 262-372-1754. You also can reach me, Kurt, K-U-R-T, at spiritofthegame.org. Spirit of the Game is a global organization that comes in and helps support the impact that a person, a group, an organization, a company, in whatever form it may be, if it's impact, it's our business at Spirit of the Game. And for sure, it is the business of Community Pay It Forward. And I looked at that All Come Together program that Community Pay It Forward does and how it all fits together. All come together. You got the PAC channel evolving from that. And then with the PAC channel programming, we have impact. You see impact on the programming with the PAC channel. You're hearing we all love podcasting, creating these videos, getting the word out. Again, a channel of constant positivity, showing what people can do and can help that focus, that outward focus, pay it forward, sharing economy stuff. I am a working board member of Humans United and Mutual Aid Network, a community partner with Helpopedia, which is all about education. Sue and I are members of Optimus International, Friend of Youth, bringing out the best in kids. Every Optimus club we know is formed to serve the youth, the community, and ourselves. So there's a personal development program in there. And we are also, Sue and I hopped on the bandwagon of what we learned 2 months ago, and that is People for a New America, PFANA. You can find that at pfanausa.org. And we are in the business of creating a music festival tour, Unity, Peace, and Freedom music festivals. And we want to bring one to every state in the USA for sure. And Sue and I are happy to be a part of wherever it can go internationally. That's what we're looking at here, is everything you're finding from this program can have a global impact. And that's what we like to do. And so I celebrate Debbie, Maianne, Sue, Zak Clayton, Santa Papa John, Santa Mike, everybody coming together like this. This is how it happens. If you know the story of the Americans with Disabilities Act success, we have the Americans with Disabilities Act today because the nonprofits and the agencies, disability services all across the land came together to help our Oval Office, to help candidates, to help legislature understand what's needed for Americans with disabilities. This is success in action. And again, I'm pleased, proud, and privileged to be a part of it. How about you? Back to you, Sue.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kurt. We are so happy to be here supporting all the things going on here with A Miracle of a Community That Cares. What a blessing to have this on this all together happening on this platform so that we can share out and be there for one another, because that's what a community is. We are part of an amazing community. So happy to be here. Again, I am Sue Roskopf. You can reach me at Susan@projectdiehard.org. Again, Susan@projectdiehard.org. If you want to know more about Project Die Hard and all the things that are happening to provide hope to veterans, happy to connect. Would love to do more with you on that. And mark your calendars. Hope Stock. Speaking of hope, Hope Stock is taking place the last weekend in July in 2025. So look for details coming soon on that. But definitely mark your calendars for that one. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be taking place at Fob Rush in Makanda, Illinois, and more to come on that. So just mark your calendars for now. You don't want to miss it. So Zak Clayton is the guy. He's amazing. So grateful for all the things you're doing, man, with all of this, putting this together and creating this miracle of a community that cares, because people do care. And I am grateful for all that that is coming together here. So again, Debbie, Maianne, Kurt, thank you so much for joining us. And again, my name is Sue Roskopf, and thank you so much for letting us be part of.
I can't thank that group enough for all the kind words, for everything that they said. And Kurt did bring it up, and I haven't said it yet. Kurt did bring up the fact that I love to tell people that, look, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. And that's because that's the truth. You may think that, you know what, if I walk past this person, somebody else is going to stop. Why should that next person have to stop? If you have the ability to help someone right then and right there, do it. It means absolutely nothing to you in your life. I tell people all the time, look, if you have an extra hoodie in your closet that you don't wear anymore, throw it in your car. Give it to somebody who is struggling with the elements out there. You know, we're in the middle of winter and it's cold. It's cold during the day. It's cold at night. It's cold all the time. Okay. You may walk outside and you may think, hey, you know what? It's not that bad. It's 50 some degrees. Here in Colorado, 50 degrees is wonderful. It's t-shirt and shorts weather. If you are in and out, you know, you're not going to want to be in t-shirt and shorts for 8-9 hours out there. It'll get cold. So if you have an old hoodie, you know what? Give it to somebody who's out there in the elements all the time. If you take and, you know, we have this wonderful holiday that's coming up. This group of holidays that are coming up that we were talking about earlier in the second segment. A lot of them have to do with eating. You know, maybe you have a neighbor that doesn't have hardly anybody left. Take them a plate. It doesn't mean anything to you. That's the thing. We're not talking about giving up money all the time. Okay? I know that when people hear the word fundraising, and I'll be honest with you, as a business person, we used to be community pay it forward fundraising. We are no longer fundraising because the first thing people think is, oh my God, this guy wants my money. No, I don't want your money. It's the great point. That's a great thing about community pay it forward. I want you to shop with our business partners. That's it. Do your shopping with them. I don't need your money. Okay, I need your money, but, you know, I'm not asking for your money. I'm asking for a receipt. That's all I'm asking for, is I'm asking for a receipt. Okay? And that receipt is really going to help support someone else. It's that simple. Maianne, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Betty, thank you. Sweetheart, I appreciate it so much, and good luck. I'm glad to see that you're up and running again. It's really, really good to see. Sue, thank you so much for hosting everything and doing all the work that you do. It's amazing what all you do. Kurt, I give you a lot of crap. All right. Truth is, you're one of my better friends. You truly are. You know, you only kid the ones you love, and I love you, my friend. I love you. I think you work your butt off doing a lot of things, and I do appreciate it. So, like I said, if I didn't care, I wouldn't joke with you. Well, I might be snarky, but, you know, it just wouldn't be that much fun. We are proud of what we've done this year. Talking to Santa right now, as a matter of fact, on text. Santa and I are texting back and forth. You know, of course, we're recording this because, we're not going to work during Christmas. But I'd like to go back through and I'd like to talk about some of the things that we've learned here. I just go back to hearing one person talk about how she lost a grandkid and how the holidays are hard for her. And again, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason why we're doing this. We portray this time of year as being the happiest time of the year. And that is quite simply because for some folks it is. But for others it is so difficult. And we need to remember that. Honest to God, we need to remember that. Maria, with what she was talking about, Maria Belinac. And if you didn't get a chance to watch, please go back and watch it, or watch it when it comes back up and around, because these 6 hours are going to be playing back and forth throughout the day. And I'm telling you, if you are missing someone, her program is a great place to go and find a little bit of comfort. Is it going to bring someone back? No, and I'm sorry. I wish we could tell you that, you know what, it's going to make everything okay. As I mentioned in there, John from Martyred Angels, he's told me, he lost Bladen over 9 years ago. Time doesn't always heal. Time makes you used to it. My motorcycle accident was 10 years ago. Most certainly doesn't make the pain feel any better. I've just gotten a little more used to it. Please make sure that you reach out to somebody. Just reach out to somebody and tell them, look, I was thinking about you. I want to thank my mom, my dad. We take care of mom and dad now. That's something Adrienne and I have taken on. And, not that mom and dad need all that much, but they do need a little bit. And every once in a while, they need a little bit of support. And we're honored that we get to do this. I also want to talk and say I love you to my Aunt Pat in Washington, my Aunt Donna in Indiana, my Aunt Judy in Fort Morgan. I love you all, ladies. I love you all. I want to thank Uncle Mike. I want to send a very, very special shout out to my Uncle Barry, who, well, both Uncle Mike and Uncle Barry were both servicemen. Uncle Barry fought during Vietnam, and he is sick. And every time I see him, I wonder to myself, is this going to be the last time? And it sucks. That sucks. So I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now, Uncle Barry, I love you. You know I do. And I'm about ready to get emotional with that too. But he's battling through. But you know, age and cancer don't go well. Uncle Mark, it was good to see you a couple months ago. It's been a long time since you and I have actually had a chance to sit down and talk, and it was nice to be able to do that. So thank you, Uncle Mark. To my cousins, Rick, Danny, Diana, we miss you. Melissa, Mikey, James, looking forward to seeing you guys here in a couple hours. All the kids of all the cousins. I am not going to go through that list. I don't have enough time. I'd be able to do a 2-hour segment just on that alone. I will shout out Jean because Jean has served the country and I appreciate him for doing that. I also want to thank my newly acquired aunts, Aunt Joyce and Aunt Nancy and Aunt Linda. Aunt Linda, I haven't got to meet you yet, but I want to say hi. Adrienne talks about you. And I want to thank Tam for spending the time coming and joining us on our wedding. That was really cool. Getting to meet you, getting to meet her side of the family. That's something special to me. I love getting to know the other side of the family. I want to thank all of our kids. And I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas. To Britt and Josh. You two keep it up. You two are doing a wonderful, wonderful job in a very tough situation. We love you. We'll support you in any way we can. And to Drake and Aiden and Addie and Gabe and Tommy. Kids, it was wonderful to get to meet you for the first time. I'm so happy that you guys were comfortable and thrilled knowing that we're a part of each other's lives now. It's great to get to know you kids. I love you. I really do. It's very, very special to get to meet you. I know you guys are going through some tough times. It's part of being a kid, okay? Part of growing up. Look, tough times don't end as you age. They just get better when it's supported by tough people. And you becoming a tougher person and realizing your potential, it does help you out. Kayla and Jaden were extremely excited for what's to come this upcoming year. And I get to see you two more than I get to see the other kids. And I appreciate that. And I love the fact that you guys are in my life. I know that your mom is so happy that that connection that was a little difficult earlier is now created. So, but Jaden, Kayla, I love you. And to Kins, little Kinsley, little Paisley, Papa loves you. Really, really loves you too. So, and I'm very, very, very happy that you're in Papa's life. You two make me smile every day. To Mason and Elaney, I wish you two were here again this year. You guys were here last year and it was great. Mason, you got to hang out with my son, my youngest boy, last year, and you got to meet some of the family. So it's like you actually, you became part of the family, and it was really cool. Plus you got to experience working on Grandpa's truck, which I don't know if that makes you a man or insane, one of the two. And Elaney, you're a wonderful sweetheart. I adore you, how bubbly and happy you are. Chuck, Alicia, Colin, Brando, and Landon. Landon, you and I don't know each other all that well yet, but we're getting to know each other. Or we've met each other, but we haven't got to know each other yet. I can't wait until we get to sit down and we get to know each other. You're getting older now. Hell, the last time you and I really got to sit down and spend any time together is when we went fishing, and you and I went for a walk just to go and check some stuff out. I think it was you, myself, and Justice. We went for a little walk. So, and that was too long ago, kid. Way too long ago. Isaac, Paula, Colin, Emmy, and Chris. You're Chris. Your babies. Then we have Chris and Miranda. Your babies. Miss you all. Miss you terribly. Merry Christmas to you. Then I got my boys. My natural boys. Who have brought two miraculous women into our lives. Gabby, you mean so much to this family. You are such a wonderful person. I love the fact that you're with Justice and make him very happy. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us. Thank you. And Maka, it's great to meet you for the first time in real life. I've talked to you over the phone, and yeah, I know I don't talk very clear sometimes, and you're learning English, but just to let you know, you're doing a wonderful job. You're a beautiful person, and you are so kind and one hell of a skater. I'm glad you showed the boys up. I also want to say thank you to two of the most important people in my life. Probably the two most important people in my life. And that's my boys, Justice and Jeffrey. Thank you guys. You guys turned what could have been a hell of a thing, a hell of a childhood. You guys both took it and turned it around, and you did something great. You grew up. You became young men. That's on you. Proud of both of you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you, boys. And of course, to my lovely wife, Adrienne. Sweetie, I'm going to tell you something. You took and came into my life, and immediately, even though you didn't quite understand what the hell I was trying to do with Community Pay It Forward and Community Dare to Care, you immediately came in and you started doing whatever you could do to support me. And that means more than you'll ever know. I try to understand a lot of the stuff that you got going on, but I don't understand this paranormal world. It's kind of a weird place for me. But I understand that I appreciate you letting me be the ignorant one. I love you, baby. I really do. So glad that we reconnected after all these years and you are my wife. Thank you. To every partner I have with Community Pay It Forward, whether it's the Community Pay It Forward family, whether you're a mission partner, whether you're a sponsorship partner, whether you're a giving partner, whether you're just an advisor, it doesn't matter. I want to thank you because you guys and gals are working your asses off to make this world better. That's this mission, making this world better. And you have joined with us. And I am so honored that you're allowing us to tell your story. Because every single one of you has a story that is worth telling over. And to everyone who's been listening or chimed in or checked up on this show for the last couple hours, thank you for being part of a miracle, of a community that cares. Thank you so very much to everyone out there. We're not done yet. I just really wanted to get this part over, because I knew this was going to be a hard part. And I had a lot of names on here. So, look, folks, we want you to do things like this next year. I want you to sit down and record these videos and send them to us. I would happily put every single video that we get together as part of this 37 hours. Imagine that if we could put together 37 straight hours where there is no continuing. That's what we want to do. We want to add a book collection for hospitals. We want to do so much more. So please stay with us next year and help us be part of the community, of a community that cares. Create the miracle of a community that cares. Sorry about that. Now, one of the other things that we really want to do is we want to make sure that we are respecting and understanding and learning about other cultures. And I get to do this with one of my very, very intelligent friends, one of my really good, dear friends, Esther Deutsch. And we talk very briefly about her life in the Jewish community. But I'd like to talk to her a little bit more about what would be your Christmas gift for the community today. And of course, my mouse froze. I tried to do that all professional and then the mouse freezes. I love these segments that I get to hang out with some of my best friends, some of my favorite people in the world. And once again, I get to hang out with my friend Esther. Esther Deutsch, how are you doing, sweetie?
I am doing great. It's a lovely holiday season so far. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me back.
With that being said, you and I were talking, and I think one of the things that we could do today is talk about a wish list. And a couple wish lists. And we can start with, as a business person, and maybe you can even speak to, as a female business person, can you give us a wish list of maybe things that we can change in 2024 or things that we can do? I'm sorry, 2025. My first slip up already. but things that we can do in business to help yourself and other people succeed.
Absolutely. I think we could continue. I think we're already headed this direction, but just building networks and communities that and encourage women to engage and grow and develop and nurture their strengths. I think we could do more with normalizing conversations about mental health and self-care and bringing more of that into the business world. So again, things that we're doing already, but continuing to do. I think talking about caregiving and responsibilities and how that plays out in the workforce and ensuring equitable opportunities in that area. And just that the conversation isn't only about women when it comes to caregiving as well, is something that I think we need to keep advocating for and representing. Reproductive health care and rights, all the buzzwords. That's a big one. So there's a lot that we could continue to do and hopefully speak to. I mean, trafficking is a big one out here in South Florida.
Yeah.
Policy. And it's amazing how I've become more sensitive, I guess, to how much of there's so much of our world that's like I don't want to say preset, but so many things that are already sort of stacked against us. So just to open the level of playing field, and we've given examples on this show before, and we're going to give more to come. But I think even just bringing a voice and awareness and hearing the conversation will help us get to the change we need. So
I had a wonderful conversation that is going to be shown. We have to re-record the video because I had the settings wrong. But I had a wonderful conversation with a brand new partner, Wendy Lyon, and we talked about trafficking and some of the things out there. Wow. Wendy is very passionate about trafficking and things like that, and I'm extremely encouraged by what we were able to talk about. My relationship in the past with the Avery Center before Megan moved on to another program. But Megan is a female who escaped the world of trafficking, got out of there, and learned a lot from her progression. And I say it in this video, and I'm going to say it again. If you ever have a chance to go and talk to someone or go and listen to someone speak who's been trafficked, I fully endorse doing that.
Wow.
It is a way that it's going to open your eyes. And this isn't something that, you may live in the largest city in the world. You may live in the smallest city in the world. That does not mean that it won't happen to you. So, it affects everyone, and it is a horrible, horrible situation. So, please, let's make sure. Definitely, that's one of the things. You know what? We'll skip into that. That's one of the things that one of the wish lists that we can all watch out for each other, because it is a horrific, horrendous, and just awful thing that people have to go through. So, I do love the fact that you brought up the caregiving is not, we do think of caregiving as something that is for females, but it's not. It's for people. We all need to take care of
someone. Yeah.
Right. Kids, moms, dads. I'm a caregiver for my elderly parents. That's
100%.
That's exactly it. And yes, I get lucky. I'm on disability myself, so it makes it easier for me to do that. But you know what? My wife does a lot, and she's got the full-time job, and she's got all this other going on. Yet, she does a ton. And I mean, these aren't even her natural parents, but she takes them on like they were. And so I give her all the kudos in the world. But I do believe that there should, I think that's one of the things that you mentioned that is great. We need to get rid of this this sexist divide in there. Look, everything that you can do, I can do. Everything that is good for you is good for me. So, and we do need to keep that going.
And to your point, I was talking to one of my partners yesterday who's a single dad, and it's not actually just about women at all. I mean, I think that there's a lot of stigma against single dads, for example, as caregivers, and in the workplace, especially, because I think the opposite, because they're often expected to be the breadwinner, that when they have a child, they don't necessarily get the same allowances. So I think we need to, just like you said, erase that preconceived notion of who it should or should not be and what that looks like, because for every family it's different, and it could also, like you said, not be kids, it could be elderly or someone else. So and we should extend that same compassion and care no matter what.
I mean, studies have shown that and this is not saying stay in a bad marriage, do any of that stuff, okay? But studies have shown that kids raise kids that are raised with the love of both parents, regardless on if mom and dad are together. Kids that are raised with both parents tend, if both parents are involved in everything, they tend to grow up better. They tend to have more self-confidence, and they tend to really thrive, I guess is a better word. Now, there are also kids that have parents that love them that end up making mistakes, but that's part of being a kid. So
Totally.
that really is. Hey, I just want to take just a real quick moment for a self-indulging plug here. But you were talking about the networking, and coming up the second Thursday of every month. So that means tomorrow we have our family networking event that is coming up. It's the second Thursday of every month. So the 12th, please join us, and you can join us by using this QR code to sign up, and we'll send you the link, and you can come on and join us and tell us about what you want. We accept anybody from nonprofits to small business professionals to people who want to give a verbal resume and see if we can help you find a job. There's no cost. There's no, you don't have to join my cult. You don't have to do any of that other stuff. Unless, of course, you do like eating Snickers and watching hockey, then you can join my cult. But all you have to do is scan the QR code, give us your information, and let us help you tell your story. So tell us a little bit, while I just did that, tell us a little bit about your plug, your networking events that you have.
Well, sure, but nothing I have will compare. I just echo, Zak. If Zak's running it, it's a good place, a good thing, and everybody should get involved, however they can. So I run a group called Sunset Social out here in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, and we invite, very similarly, it's a very open group for business professionals of all industries. We get about 150 people at every one, and we do them just once a quarter, so not too often. And then I think, Zak, maybe even how we met was through one of my other groups called the In This Together Roundtable. The link is flashing across the screen. It's inthistogetherroundtable.com, but we also bring business professionals together in a virtual platform every Tuesday, and that is now spearheaded by Luke Van Every and PJ Ewing, two fantastic individuals. And they are both wide open groups, and everybody and anyone is welcome, which is part of what makes them unique. So, you don't have to be at a certain revenue point, but you can be. And so we just like go-givers, people like yourself and those listening, to help come.
I do forget just about every month. I forget that you've kind of stepped away from that one because you took on a bigger and better role in other places. Not a better role, but you took on another role in another place, and it's taken up most of your time. But we're still going to put it out there because it was an important part of your creative mind created it. So I do think it's still important to put out there. But next time I'll remember to put the correct email address and everything.
That's all good. The Sunset Social could be found at my website, which is flashing on the bottom too. So you got it all.
Yeah. So,
you got it
all right. with networking, what do you think we could improve in the upcoming year? If there was a wish list that people do in networking, what is something in networking you feel we could improve?
Have more fun. Have more fun. People get scared. I think they attach all kinds of, and I've always said this from day one, but it still reigns true. People hear networking and they freak out. Like, I've never networked. Have you ever talked to somebody? Have you ever told somebody what you do? Like, you're networking, and you're actually probably doing it in a better way because you're removing that fear and like the big word, the big N word. So and by that I mean networking. So, it's have more fun. Just I think it's about noticing and caring. And again, I've always said this too. Take more notice if you meet somebody. It doesn't have to be you're going to a networking event and that's where you network. Some of my best friends have come from non-traditional, I would say, networking settings, right? Like, it's more about getting your name out there, sharing what you do, letting people know, because if they don't know what you do, they can't use you. And I always say, like, your product or service should sell itself. Whether you're selling a mission, a person, an opportunity, and a sale is an opportunity really for them to invest in something and get something back, right? So it's like people expect to pay. People are interested if you present it right and if it's of value to them. And so if you're not getting the results and you're sharing what you're doing, then there's a problem with your product or service, not with your networking. So really networking is just bringing awareness. And I think that's part of how I got so involved in it. It's because I actually always say I'm never networking and I never was, but I do love sharing a good thing. That's really all it is. So it's bringing who you are into conversations and then sharing whatever it is that you're involved with. And again, people are interested in what you offer and in learning about you, they'll in turn buy and connect with you. So it's really all it is.
I think one of the other things that we can do, and I'm pretty sure that you would agree with this because I know you as a connector. And one of the other things about networking that we can go into, in my opinion, if we start going into networking events and we don't think it's just about ourselves. If we go into networking and we've got an open mind to where we can help other people, I think that makes networking even more exciting, to where you listen to everybody and you can go, you know what? I know somebody perfect for you. And I would like to introduce you to this person as well. That gives it more of a cause. And I, once again, another shameless plug, but that's one of the things that we do with Community Pay It Forward is that, you know what, we're all in this to do business, but we're also in this to support others. And I really think that if you walk into a networking thing and you're closed-minded and you're only thinking about yourself, it makes networking very useless.
Transactional.
Right. And there you go. It also makes it very transactional, but
Yes.
it makes it to where you start to fade off when somebody's talking if it doesn't connect with just you. But if you go into it looking to, how can I help this person connect with someone else in my circle, I think that that will make
Spot on.
networking so much easier and more enjoyable.
100%. I always say that too. And I say people are always like, what's wrong with my network? I'm like, either your product sucks or you haven't given enough. Like, that's always my answer too. Like, how many people have you helped and given the same type of connection to that you're looking for? It's like the best way to get is to give, right? Like, you live that. So it works the same in networking and in life, it's the same. No secrets.
Yeah. And I would definitely say, along with everything else in life, more tolerance. You know what? Just because somebody's selling something that doesn't, tickle your fancy, that doesn't mean that there are people out there who it doesn't. Okay. There's always there's always products out there that are meant for someone else. And
I love that.
Be open to listening to whoever. Again, if you think more open-mindedly, if you think about others while you're doing things, it makes the conversation so much more valuable.
I love that you're saying that because I think, to your point, like if somebody let's say sells you or pitches you something or shares something they're doing and it's not good for you, like the response should really be, and I'm guilty of this sometimes too, is like, I don't think I can use this. Like sometimes, when people send me, I had this yesterday, somebody sent me an event. My first thought was delete, not relevant, unsubscribe. And then I was like, no, like let me respond, acknowledge that this is an amazing event because it looked like it once I took another look. And who do I know in my network who it could serve? And like if more people just did that little thing once in a while, it would make a very big difference, because exactly to your point, it's such a good point. Like somebody else does need that. And so you're helping the person who's sending it, you're helping the person who's receiving it too. Like you're going to help someone else. Someone else needs exactly that. So if we could just have other people in mind more and take it a step further, like I would say it's nice to even reply, but then take it a step further. Okay, I don't know. This is not for me now. Who is it for that I know? Or who can it be for? And even if you forward it to someone else and it's not for them either, if they have the same mindset and they forward it to someone who does, eventually it's going to get to where it needs to go. And someone's going to do the
Yep.
same thing for you, and you're going to get that.
Yep.
So I think, law of reciprocity, it's a real thing, and we just need to keep putting out the right things. And I think the universe will connect the dots for you, you know?
I love it. Esther's
Um,
bringing in big words. There's
I can't even say it, but you know what I
Hey,
mean.
you know what? That's okay. I think a lot of times I go through and I try to act a lot smarter than I actually am, and I say words, and I'm like, "Oh, God, I hope I use that in the right
I
context."
know, I'm not even half that smart, but I love that word. It's a good word. So.
Yeah, and the other thing is, make sure that you understand that networking, success in networking is not always a completed sale.
Exactly.
Look, two of my very, very best, well, more than two. I had a conversation. I reconnected with my twin brother the other day, and that makes
Oh,
it just fantastic. But I've made a lot of friends through networking, and we're not talking just business friends. We're talking friends that are friends just to have conversations with. So success is not always, I made a sale today. We all want to make sales. We all want people to join our programs and stuff, but you need to make sure that you're always connecting. And I think that's one of the best things to do.
networking is not linear, right? That's
Yep.
exactly. It's a long game. Another thing I've always said. So you're right on the money. Yeah. No, it's again transformational. Chase transformation, not transaction. And transforming people is one of the most beautiful things I think I've ever. That's what I love. It's just seeing
Yeah.
people transform, and you can't do that quickly. You need time. So
No. Morris is who I was talking about. Morris and I are twin brothers. A lot of people don't know that.
Morris, who?
Oh, geez. I knew you were going to ask me his last name. Just a
Like, do I
second.
know him? Do I know?
I'd imagine you know him. He's very well known. And now I feel terrible because I can't remember his name. Just one
It's all
second
right.
here. I will. LinkedIn with their pop-ups kills me. Morris Williams.
I don't know more. I feel like I should.
Oh, well, you know what? You will know Morris
Yeah,
then. Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, he and I we send people each other all the time. He's a great guy. Another great networker. He's
I
all out
bet.
there. He is huge in the LGBTQ community,
Wonderful.
and just a great networker himself. He's a great person to, and he's one of the best people to cheer you up. And if you ever need a menu idea, look up Morris. Okay, Morris is a cook.
Oh,
He is a cook. So, but let's open this view to our communities. Esther, what would you like to see for 2025 and beyond that we open up and open the way for in our communities?
well, I think especially now with the current climate and politically, I think that we need more. I hate the word safe space. It's a very
Mm-hmm.
charged word, but I think just opening up more, I guess you'd say spaces, but more exchange, more understanding, more like listening, hearing, less judgment. And I think again, it starts small. People like talk about like global peace, and I'm all about it. But I think it starts from you and I, and just even conversations like this. It's so valuable. Like you and I, we have similar goals and missions here, but we have obviously different like perspectives, and we come from different places. And I bring a feeling perspective, and you bring another perspective, and it's like, we need to like have more dialogue. We need to hear each other more, and both in communities and in our personal lives, like family members. It doesn't mean we have to agree or support, but we could acknowledge and hear. And I just think there's something very powerful in that. Even strangers too. Like I think just giving more space to people, because if we interact with them or engage, there's a reason for it. It's not random. At least that's what I believe. And so
Yep.
I think like just giving some headspace to that and like really putting pause to our lives and thinking more about why we're here and what we have to accomplish. And I think for every person that's different, but it sounds also cliche, but like just focusing every day on doing one thing that's meaningful for you or that brings you to be a better person than you were yesterday. Like that's my goal for myself. I don't know how much time I have, but if I could do one thing every day that makes me better than I was yesterday, then I'm happy, hopefully more, but at least one thing, even on the bad days, because we all have them.
Yeah.
So I think just more like intention, just giving more intention, being more cognizant of who's around us. And it's something that everyone could do, regardless of whether they, are had family or don't, or friends. Everybody hopefully engages with someone, even if it's your doorman over the course of a day. So there's always opportunity for connection. And I think we just need to
I
lean in.
love one of the well, I love everything that you just said there, but I really need to make sure that people understand that, you know what, there's never been somebody who wins an election with 100% of the vote.
Yes.
There's never been a vote that was everyone in the world stood up and went, yes. Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, no, but Ronald Reagan, who was probably the closest, never won 100% of the vote. No one ever has. Okay. We're still standing. And it's okay to be disappointed that your candidate lost. It's okay to be upset because of some of the things that he says. It's fine. You don't have to agree with it, and you can let people know that you don't agree with it. Here's what's not okay. You see your uncle across the table who you are different with politically. You refuse to talk to him because he voted the other way. That's not okay, because you know what? If the other side would have won, at the end of the program, at the end of this whole deal, she would have never known your name. You will never know, or he will never know his name. They don't matter. We don't really matter to them. Okay, regardless of what they say, we don't matter to them. That's
Yep.
plain, pure, and simple the truth. We don't matter in the long run. We need to make sure that Zak and Esther work together to take care of each other and people around us.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And for us to do that, we need everyone like you to join us so we can take care of more people.
The reality is it's all about the people anyway. So it's in
Yes.
our hands, it's in our power, and we got to take that responsibility upon ourselves and not rely on other people to make the difference. Plus,
Yep.
it's all we can do anyway. So, well said and
Yeah.
100%.
And look, I've said this so many times. I know it's old hat, and I know that people are probably getting sick and tired of me saying it. But the more and more we are at each other's, let me try this again in English. More and more, while we're at each other's throats, while we're doing the fighting, while we're hating on each other, they're sitting there getting away with stuff that we should be paying attention to. And we could do something about, instead of worrying about what my neighbor said about my candidate. Freedom of speech, okay? Think what you want to think, but let's pay attention to what's going on and worry about what's going on. Get out there.
100%.
Make sure that you let people know, you know what? I don't like what's going on. How can we fix it? Instead of, I don't like what's going on, I'm going to just close my mind to everything else. Let's work together. Let's change things
100%.
instead of hate things.
I love that. Done. Beautiful. All is good. You've said it all.
Well, I think that we've both said it all. What? Tell me something, Esther. What is and you are of the Jewish faith? Please give me something that is a Hanukkah tradition in your life.
Ooh, that's a great question. Well, we bake donuts for the holiday because there's accustomed to eat greasy food. So donuts are a big holiday, Hanukkah holiday tradition. And that is because I believe there was a miracle of oil where the oil lasted very long in the temple times, longer than it was supposed to, and they were able to light a lot of candles with less oil. So to commemorate that, we bake donuts. So I try not to eat them because, then January comes and all your New Year's resolutions and it's a problem. But the gyms are happy. But I at least bake them. And then we also play a game of tops, which is also a tradition with family. So a lot of gifts. It's like a very nice, happy holiday. The only sad part is we don't usually get off work or school for that holiday for some reason. So usually you got to find time, especially as I get older, amongst all the crazies. But this year I will be joining a Jewish tour in Athens, Greece. So I've never been, and I'm excited.
You have got to take some pictures and share them with me because I love
Absolutely.
the history of Greece, Rome, Egypt, all of that. I love history. So please.
Oh, yeah. We'll do. I'll get you. I've never been, so I'm excited, and I'm going to stop in Madrid and Italy. So
wow.
Lake Como.
Well, I really hope this isn't offensive to anybody, but I wonder if I have a little bit of Jewish blood in me because you know what? I love fried foods too, but that's just because I'm a fat guy and I love fried foods. So,
we do a lot of that. What do they say? Every Jewish holiday is, we almost died, we got saved, let's eat. Like that's Jewish holidays in a nutshell. So something like that.
well, maybe somewhere down my history line, I'll find out. But
yeah, you
Esther,
keep me posted. I'd love to know about that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? My thing is that I love the fact that you and I are able to talk about this because I want to learn more about what every holiday is about. This isn't just a one religion holiday, one culture holiday month. Everyone,
yes,
and that's the whole reason why we're doing what we're doing. Every holiday right now, there are people who are missing people in their families. So we need to really make sure everyone has to deal with the crappy traffic and the crappy shoppers. Even if you're not in there buying gifts, you've still got to deal with the people being idiots too. So please, let's all just make sure that we lower temperatures and remember everyone is dealing with something right now. So
I love that. But in happier news, we get the holiday flavors at Starbucks. So don't forget.
Yeah.
Some of us like pumpkin spice all the way.
Yeah. That's something I just can't get into, but
I wait all year for it. So those of you who know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I know there are tons of people who do, but well, Esther, I want to wish you a happy holidays.
Thank you. You as well.
So very much. And I look forward to talking to you again next month as we continue this series about learning to just get along, just be able to work together to make life better.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me, and thanks to everyone listening.
Well, thank you very much.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Hey, Merry Christmas again here from CARES Foundation. I want to spare you guys, but Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. Okay, I won't make you listen to it anymore. But here at the CARES Foundation, we wish everybody Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all the happiness in the world. So I'll tell you a little story. I grew up on a farm and dairy, and for me, I guess it was going out and, milking the cows Christmas morning, and I don't know, it just became a fresh newness. I don't know what it was. It was crazy. Nothing other than just a regular day, but I guess it was maybe getting your chores done and getting back to open up Christmas presents or something like that. But it was just a great morning, and sitting there with my dad and my stepmom, my brother and myself, and it was a wonderful time. And then getting together with family, my grandma and all my aunts and uncles, and we would play pinochle. And yeah, I was taught how to play pinochle when I was like 8 years old. I know, crazy. I've been a card shark since 8. But we'd get together, and my dad would make cinnamon rolls. It was a wonderful time. And so I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And I'll tell you what, if there is anybody out there that wants to talk to somebody, or you're kind of down and you need to talk to someone this Christmas, heads up right now. I'm going to give you my cell phone number. I have a 541 area code, Oregon area code, but I'm in Arizona. My number is 541-490-5171. Again, that's 541-490-5171. So you can call me. I will talk to you. And again, we're CARES Foundation with a K, K-A-R-E-S Foundation. We love you guys. And thank you, everybody. And Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. And here go Boise State Broncos. Fiesta Bowl, baby. Talk to you soon.